Have you ever wondered why some countries won't let Americans visit? Despite having one of the most powerful passports, Americans still face travel bans in certain parts of the world. Imagine planning your perfect vacation, only to find out that you can't go there. Lately, there's been a lot of talk about American tourists being denied entry or facing strict regulations in various countries. For instance, the recent situation in North Korea, where political tensions and security concerns have made it nearly impossible for Americans to visit, has left many travelers searching for alternative destinations. In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind these travel bans and restrictions. We'll look at 15 countries where Americans aren't allowed to travel, diving into the political, safety, and diplomatic factors that influence these decisions. By the end of this video, you'll understand why these countries have restricted American travelers. Stay tuned as we navigate the complex world of travel restrictions and uncover why these 15 countries have closed their doors to Americans. Whether you're a travel enthusiast or just curious about global issues, this video will give you a clear understanding of what's going on. Number 1. Afghanistan. Afghanistan, located in South Asia and bordered by Pakistan, Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan, is strategically positioned at the crossroads of Central and South Asia, contributing to its complex regional dynamics with rugged terrains and mountainous landscapes. The primary reasons for the travel ban are rooted in severe security threats, with the U.S. Department of State issuing a travel warning due to ongoing conflict and instability driven by the resurgence of the Taliban and the presence of extremist groups. The security environment is marked by frequent terrorist attacks, kidnappings, and battles between various factions, making it perilous for foreign nationals, with the U.S. government's caution further influenced by the limited ability to provide consular support in such a volatile environment. Afghanistan's turbulent history significantly impacts its current status. The Soviet invasion in 1979 began a prolonged period of instability. With the rise of the Taliban in the 1990s, the U.S. invasion in 2001, and the recent Taliban takeover in August 2021, all contributing to the volatile security situation and ongoing international concerns. Currently, the U.S. government maintains the highest level travel advisory, advising against all travel to the country, reflecting the precarious security situation and the severely limited capacity of the U.S. Embassy to assist American citizens. The restrictions impact American businesses by impeding opportunities in a region with potential economic resources and affect diplomatic relations by highlighting ongoing geopolitical tensions and communication challenges. To provide a deeper understanding, unique aspects include on-the-ground insights from journalists and local experts who have recently been in Afghanistan, historical reflections on how events like the Soviet invasion and Taliban rise have shaped contemporary travel policies, and future prospects based on potential diplomatic efforts or shifts in the security landscape. For those seeking similar experiences in safer environments, alternatives include Pakistan, with its rich cultural heritage and historical sites, like the ancient city of Tashila and the Karakoram Range, Central Asian countries like Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, offering breathtaking natural beauty and cultural richness, and Iran, which, despite its own travel advisories, provides a culturally enriching experience with landmarks like Persepolis. Understanding the reasons behind travel restrictions to Afghanistan highlights the complex interplay of safety, historical conflicts, and geopolitical considerations, allowing travelers to navigate these challenges and find fulfilling experiences in alternative destinations. Number 2. Russia. Russia, the largest country in the world by land area, spans the continents Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. It shares borders with 14 countries, including Norway, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, China, Mongolia, and North Korea. The country boasts diverse landscapes, from the icy tundra of Siberia to the vast taiga forests, towering mountain ranges, and expansive steppes, reflecting a wide range of climates and geographical features. The primary reasons for travel restrictions on Americans visiting Russia stem from escalating political and diplomatic tensions. Over the past decade, relations between the U.S. and Russia have significantly deteriorated due to a variety of issues, including accusations of election interference, cyber espionage, and conflicting positions on global conflicts like those in Ukraine and Syria. These geopolitical frictions have resulted in mutual expulsions of diplomats, economic sanctions, and stringent travel advisories. Additionally, there are concerns about the potential for arbitrary detention of U.S. citizens by Russian authorities, which have further contributed to the restrictive travel warnings. Currently, the U.S. Department of State advises American citizens to reconsider travel to Russia due to risks such as harassment and arbitrary enforcement of local laws. The travel advisory emphasizes the potential for increased security measures, enhanced surveillance of foreign visitors, and difficulties in accessing consular services in case of emergencies. Recent geopolitical developments, including Russia's involvement in various international conflicts and its assertive stance on the global stage, have only intensified these worries. Number 3. Belarus. Belarus, a landlocked nation in Eastern Europe, is bordered by Russia to the northeast, Ukraine to the south, Poland to the west, and Lithuania and Latvia to the northwest. Renowned for its flat terrain, extensive forests, and numerous lakes, Belarus combines natural beauty with rich historical sites, particularly in its capital, Minsk. The country's location at the crossroads of Europe has historically made it a strategic area of interest. The travel restrictions for Americans visiting Belarus are primarily driven by political instability and safety concerns. The U.S. Department of State has issued travel advisories due to the Belarusian government's actions and the potential for civil unrest. The authoritarian regime of President Alexander Lukashenko has faced widespread international condemnation for human rights abuses, political repression, and election fraud. The situation deteriorated significantly after the 2020 presidential election, which sparked mass protests and a brutal crackdown on dissent. Furthermore, the Belarusian government's forced diversion of a Ryanair flight in 2021 to arrest a dissident journalist raised global safety concerns and further strained international relations. There is also a risk of arbitrary detention and harassment of U.S. citizens by Belarusian authorities, making travel to Belarus particularly hazardous. Number 4. Yemen. Yemen, situated at the southern tip of the Arabian Peninsula in Western Asia, is bordered by Saudi Arabia to the north, Oman to the east, the Arabian Sea to the south, and the Red Sea to the west. Its strategic location includes significant maritime routes, such as the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which links the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden. The country's diverse terrain features coastal plains, rugged mountains, and arid desert regions, alongside ancient cities and significant cultural heritage sites. The travel restrictions on Americans visiting Yemen are primarily due to severe security threats and ongoing conflict. The U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 travel advisory, urging Americans not to travel to Yemen due to terrorism, civil unrest, health risks, kidnapping, and armed conflict. Since 2014, Yemen has been engulfed in a brutal civil war between Houthi rebels and forces loyal to the internationally recognized government, further complicated by interventions from Saudi Arabia and Iran. The conflict has caused a humanitarian crisis, including widespread food shortages, a lack of medical care, and destroyed infrastructure. Terrorist groups such as Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, AQAP, and ISIS also operate within Yemen, posing significant threats to foreigners. Additionally, the high risk of kidnapping for ransom and the closure of the U.S. Embassy in Sana'a in 2015 severely limit consular assistance for American citizens. Number 5. Libya. The travel restrictions on Americans visiting Libya are primarily due to severe security threats and ongoing political instability. The U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 travel advisory, urging Americans not to travel to Libya because of crime, terrorism, civil unrest, and armed conflict. Since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi's regime in 2011, Libya has been entangled in a complex civil war with multiple factions vying for control. This conflict has led to widespread violence, lawlessness, and the rise of armed militias. Terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda operate within Libya, posing significant threats to foreigners. Additionally, the risk of kidnapping for ransom is high, and the U.S. Embassy's ability to assist American citizens is severely limited due to its closure in Tripoli in 2014. Number 6. Iraq. The U.S. Department of State has placed a level 4 travel advisory on Iraq, strongly advising Americans against traveling there due to extreme security threats and ongoing political turmoil. Since the 2003 invasion that led to the fall of Saddam Hussein, Iraq has been mired in conflict involving various factions. This includes the rise of ISIS, which has carried out numerous attacks within the country. The persistent presence of militias and ongoing military operations further heighten the danger. Additionally, the risk of kidnapping for ransom is high, and the closure of the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad greatly limits the ability to assist American citizens in case of emergency. Number 7. North Korea. Traveling to North Korea is restricted for Americans due to intense political and security concerns. The U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 travel advisory, advising against all travel to North Korea due to serious risks including political imprisonment, arbitrary detention, and limited consular support. North Korea is known for its strict government control and severe restrictions on personal freedom. The regime's isolationist policies and its ongoing conflicts with other nations, particularly the United States and its allies, have created an environment where foreign travelers face significant risks. In recent years, several Americans have been detained under harsh conditions for allegedly violating local laws or regulations, further complicating the travel situation. Number 8. Myanmar. Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, is situated in Southeast Asia. It is bordered by China to the north, Laos to the east, Thailand to the southeast, Bangladesh to the west, and India to the northwest. The country is renowned for its diverse geography, including lush plains, dense forests, and the majestic Irrawaddy River. Yangon, the largest city, and Naypyidaw, the administrative capital, are among the key urban centers. Traveling to Myanmar is currently restricted for Americans due to severe political instability and ongoing violence. The U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 travel advisory, advising against all travel to Myanmar. The primary reasons for this advisory are the military coup that took place in February 2021 and the subsequent violent crackdown on pro-democracy protesters. Since the coup, Myanmar has been engulfed in a complex crisis involving widespread civil unrest, human rights abuses, and escalating violence. The military government's response to protests has been brutal, leading to numerous fatalities and arrests. Additionally, there is a significant risk of arbitrary detention and severe restrictions on freedoms, making travel to Myanmar extremely dangerous for foreigners. Number 9. Iran. Iran, formerly known as Persia, is situated in Western Asia. It is bordered by Iraq to the west, Turkey to the northwest, Armenia and Azerbaijan to the north, Turkmenistan to the northeast, Afghanistan to the east, and Pakistan to the southeast. The country features diverse landscapes, including rugged mountain ranges like the Zagros and Alborz. vast deserts, and fertile plains. Tehran, the capital, is the country's largest city and economic hub, while cities like Isfahan and Shiraz are known for their rich cultural heritage. Traveling to Iran is restricted for Americans, primarily due to political tensions and security concerns. The U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 travel advisory, advising against all travel to Iran. The primary reasons for these restrictions include ongoing political hostilities between the U.S. and Iran, including issues related to nuclear programs and regional conflicts. The risk of arrest and detention for Americans is high, particularly in the context of political disagreements or perceived threats. Furthermore, the Iranian government's strict control over information and its surveillance of foreigners contribute to a high-risk environment for American travelers. Additionally, sporadic violence and regional instability add to the safety concerns. Mali, situated in West Africa, is a land of contrasts and diversity. It is bordered by Algeria to the northeast, Niger to the east, Burkina Faso and Ivory Coast to the south, Guinea to the southwest, Senegal to the west, and Mauritania to the northwest. Mali is renowned for its varied landscapes, which range from the vast Sahara Desert in the north to the fertile Niger River Valley in the center, and the Sahel region that stretches across the southern part of the country. The capital city, Bamako, is an important cultural and economic hub. Traveling to Mali is currently restricted for Americans due to severe security threats stemming from ongoing armed conflicts and terrorism. The U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 travel advisory for Mali, advising against all travel to the country. The primary concerns include the presence of militant groups such as Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, AQIM, and ISIS affiliates, which pose significant risks of violence and terrorism. Additionally, Mali has faced persistent instability and conflict between various armed factions, leading to frequent attacks on civilians and security forces. The risk of kidnapping and the general unpredictability of the security situation further exacerbate the danger for travelers. U.S. diplomatic services are limited due to these conditions, making travel particularly risky. Thank you for joining us on this journey, exploring the complexities and challenges faced by Americans traveling to certain countries. We've covered 10 out of the 15 countries, each with its unique historical and political context. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next part of our series, where we'll cover the remaining countries on our list. Stay tuned for more travel insights and safe journey planning tips. Until next time, travel wisely and stay safe, and don't forget to wait for part 2.